You have a dream in your head and you keep thinking about it. You think about it when you go to bed. You think about it as your escape from the life that you're living right now. You have an incredible idea of who you want to be, and yet you're still here. You refuse to jump. You refuse to take the leap. You keep putting it off every month. I'm going to start. I'm going to start. I'm going to start. And you never do. You're stuck in the research. You're stuck in the planning, but it's actually your cover for not wanting to take the leap. You're standing on the precipice of something great. On the other side is your dream self. You're standing at the edge of the cliff and you refuse to jump. And you have to believe that the universe is there to catch you when you finally do jump. But you don't believe that, do you? What are you so afraid of? There's something on the other side in your dream self that actually terrifies you, that makes you think, I don't think I can do this. There's something about it that messes with your nervous system. Your nervous system is not allowing you to go there. When I say that, I mean there might be shame over there. There might be too much visibility, too much exposure over there. There might be so much money over there that you don't know how to handle it. You wouldn't know how to spend it. It would make you too anxious. What is it about that dream life? If you did it, if you took the step and you were successful, what is it about that dream life that actually scares you to death? Think about that. And that's where you have to regulate your nervous system and sit with that. What do you need to create as a normal baseline for your body and for your mind so that you can easily step into that new life? You can complain all you want and say that, it's because of the economy, or it's because of this, it's because of my job, it's because of that. You can complain all you want, but you're not hiding from me, at least. You're not hiding from me. I know that you're not taking the leap because there's something that you're afraid of. There's something you won't face. One thing you have to realize about life is that in life, you're going to have to choose your heart. It's going to be hard either way. No matter what path you choose, it's going to be difficult. This is life. This is life on planet Earth, okay? It's hard. And you can't avoid work. For the majority of us, you can't avoid work. Think about if you stayed the same for the rest of your life, that is hard. If you chose to go another way, which is your dream life down that path of that idea that you have in your mind that you're not executing on, what if you did that? That is hard, okay? Either way, it's going to be hard. So you have to choose your hard. Don't try to avoid work. Don't try to avoid discomfort. Don't try to avoid all the uncomfy feelings that are going to come with this. You're going to be uncomfortable either way. That's how you grow. Choose your hard. So I want you to close your eyes and imagine if you stayed on this path of your life and you stayed here for the rest of your life, or whatever the natural progression of you staying on this path is. I want you to close your eyes and imagine that. Imagine you staying here. That might be very hard for you. That life might be very difficult for you because the inside, you're thinking, I could have gone another way. I didn't go for that thing that I wanted to go for. And you have to sit with that discomfort. You have to sit with that on your deathbed, that you had an idea, you had something you wanted to go for, and you decided not to do it for whatever reason. Maybe it's because people would judge you, or maybe it's because you just didn't want to put the work in, or maybe you were afraid of the visibility and people looking at you, or the people in your hometown who had something to say about what you were afraid of their opinion. You have to live with that feeling by not going for the thing. You're going to have to come face to face with that. So that feeling is uncomfortable. That feeling is difficult to sit with. That feeling is hard. Now, I want you to think about if you went down the path of actually going for the thing that you want to do. That's going to be hard, okay? You've never done this before. You have to find your way. You might have to network. You might have to put in work that you have never done before. You might have to have sleepless nights. You might have to be seen on a large level that scares the crap out of you. You might have to take opportunities that scare the crap out of you. That's hard, okay? Which hard are you going to choose? You have to choose one. And I know for me, I am not sitting with a feeling at the end of my life that I wanted to do something with the one life that I have, and I decided not to do it because I was scared of people who are not around anymore, of people who don't matter. Because at the end of your life, you realize who matters and what matters. And I promise you that all those people's opinions that you are so afraid of, they will not matter at that point. Don't you want to take this one life that you have and actually swing for the fences? Like, actually go for it, because you only have this one life. You only have this one chance. This is not a dress rehearsal. And yet you're treating it like one. This is it. This is the big times right now. You're just wasting it away. You know how many people want to have the opportunity that you have to have a healthy body, to be able to actually be able to do things? You know how many people in the hospital would do things over again, wish they went for the things that they actually dreamt of doing, because nothing really matters at the end of the day except for what you want. Choose your hard, because you can't escape the hard. You really can't. Let's say you decided to start. Congratulations. Incredible. I'm so proud of you. Now what? You've actually started. You put yourself out there. You started the business. You actually decided that this is the year that you're going to go for it. Guess what's going to happen? The world is going to keep spinning. Okay? The world's not going to end. You know, people aren't going to be throwing tomatoes at you. The world's going to keep spinning. Okay? People are way too absorbed into their own lives to care about what you're doing. Okay? It's called the spotlight effect. We think that everybody is focused on us, but really they're focused on themselves in the same way you're focused on yourself. And yes, in life, people are going to talk about you. Okay? That is a truth you can't get around. People are going to gossip about you. It makes them feel good to talk about you, okay? That is something you have to accept in life. So once you accept it, that at times people are going to talk about you, at times people are going to bring up your work or the thing that you're starting, that they might not speak very kindly about it, how are you going to react to that? What are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. You can't control other people. The only person you can control is you. So block out all the noise, block out other people and their small opinions and their jealous opinions, because a lot of people talk about people that they wish they could be like. Okay? Block that all out and focus on you. Today they talk about you. Tomorrow they're going to ask you how you did it. And guess what? Yes, you start, but you're not going to succeed right away. You might not succeed right away. You might get little glimpses that you're on the right track. You might fail. I'm going to be honest. You might fail because your first idea most likely isn't the idea. And that's why you have to start. You have to start so that you can fail. What you want to do is you want to fail faster. And that's what most successful people understand. You need to fail quickly. Get started so you can get the failure over with. And all of those failures, they're not failures, they're data. It's data that you can use to iterate, to shift, to pivot so that you get on the right path. You get on the path that you want to be on quickly. Failure is a blessing. I love data. In my job, I work with data all the time, and data tells you things. So if you fail, if something doesn't perform, if something doesn't get the reaction that you want, if it doesn't make the money that you want, then you know that, hey, this is the wrong path, or this worked, this didn't work. Let me pivot. Always be pivoting. Always be thinking about how you can iterate to get closer and closer to the right path. There is, in my opinion, no such thing as failure. And the other reason why I believe that there is no such thing as failure is because you need to decide what the outcome is and stick to it. You have to have it in your mind that that is exactly what's going to happen. So let's say your goal is to become a famous author. That's going to happen no matter what. You lock that into your brain. You are a famous author. You at some point will be a famous author. And so now that that's locked in, anything that happens between now and then is, that's just part of your path. You might zigzag. You might get rejected by agents. You might have to write multiple books to get on that path. But no matter what happens, you're going to get there. You have to lock that in. Do not ever change your goal unless you absolutely want to change it. But once you want something, you lock it in. And anything that happens between now and then is just data. It's just data that you use to shift or move or to glide your way to your goal. And in that way, there is no such thing as failure because you're going to get there no matter what. And that is the difference between people who give up and people who actually succeed. People who succeed know where they're going, and there is no other option. They will be successful no matter what happens. And I promise you, it is the people who have that kind of faith and that kind of conviction that get to their goal. That is the key to all of this. That's actually the key to manifesting, if you believe in manifesting, is having faith and conviction that no matter what, you're going to get there. Whatever you ask the universe, the answer is always yes. Always. I've gotten to the point where whenever I have a new desire and I ask or I pray for it, I can almost hear the answer is yes. I hear it immediately. Yes, you can have that. Yes, it's yours. Yes, it's done. And I completely believe that because I want this thing, because it's a goal, I am getting it. I'm going to get it. It's already done. So I don't have to worry. I don't have to complain. I don't have to, be afraid that it's not going to happen for me. It is going to happen for me because I decided, because I asked for it, and the universe said yes. There's no in between. So anything that happens between now and then is just me figuring it out, but I'm going to get there. And that completely changes how I move through the world. I am no longer my old self. I am no longer the self who's worried and confused. I am the self who has complete conviction that I am going to be who I am. And I walk through the world as if I've already achieved my goal. And that is the key. You'll always get there once you completely change yourself and your self concept that you are the type of person who has the thing that you want. And with that kind of change in your body, in your mind, there is no way that you don't get exactly what you want. It is those people with that level of conviction and that level of faith and knowledge about who they are who get what they want. And you can study anybody who you consider successful. And I promise you, they have that mentality. So if right now you're deep in the research phase, you're deep in the planning phase, which we know is a cover for not actually moving on your goals, I want you to do something that puts you out there, or give yourself a very firm deadline that your research, your planning is going to be done at this date. There is no going over this date. Make that promise to yourself because your body, your mind is listening to all of the promises that you make to yourself or all of the promises that you break. Keeping promises to yourself is extremely important to your self concept and who you believe yourself to be. So create a deadline, make sure you stick to it, and put yourself out there in one way or another. Make a solid, big move toward your goal in the way that you can't really go back now. You're not the old self anymore. You are now the new self who is on a completely different path. And I promise you, once you do this, you think the world's going to end. You think that everyone's going to be staring at you. No, the world's going to keep moving. And people eventually will adjust their concept of you because you think of yourself a different way.